in the room. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Air guitar, everybody, come on. You guys are amazing. I woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind. Say what? Stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woo! I don't know about you guys, but I am tingling all over. Holy cow, that was awesome. Good morning, Center for Spiritual Living Simi Valley.
Morning.
Wow, 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 that was awesome.
Yeah.
Just feel this amazing energy. That was fantastic. And welcome, Virch community. For those who are watching now or later, we're so glad to have you. Wow. Thank you for everyone who turned out for the Fam Danley concert last night. And thank you so much for everyone who donated, because that's going to go toward our building fund. So that's really awesome. Today, Reverend Nancy has a workshop after service at 1 o'clock, so you can grab some snacks from the bake sale or from the fellowship or some lunch, and then come back and be here by 1 o'clock, and Reverend Nancy will lead us through the mindfulness techniques and fun practices. Yes. Reverend Nancy's always fun, always. Now today, before we announce the name though, so don't do it first. So this is a person who has been around literally for many, many, many years, I think decades at this point. Helping out last night, because he's always seemed to be helping out. He always offers, but by some miracle, if he hasn't offered, if you ask, he literally always says yes. He's on the service team. He is always like there. Can he clean up? Can he set up the chairs? Can he take down the chairs? Literally doing something all the time. And he's amazing, and we just want to thank him and recognize him as Volunteer of the Month. Drum roll. Da-da-da-da-da. Ron Young.
Ronnie, baby.
I hope you know how much we love you.
Know who me, and I know how come who me. I know how it started. I was here about a year, and I lost my job. And I couldn't make my financial commitment. And I asked myself, what can I do instead? And I started to volunteer. And it's been going on. And I think probably the most special part to me is not the opportunity to volunteer, but the people when it's been too much for me, and I needed to share the responsibility, how people have stepped up. And Glenn, with the first it was Deborah. She did the stage, and then Glenn took the stage, and most recently, Candy has become the service team leader for Fourth Sunday. So it's been wonderful how everyone has stepped up. Not just me, but everyone steps up to help.
Thank you, Ron. I don't know what we'd do without you. Truly. So if you would all join me this morning in our vision and mission statement. We're community, inclusive, loving, and authentic. We celebrate all paths to God in gratitude, empowering self and others. We serve compassionately through outreach, inspiration, and education. That's who we are. That's why we're here. And here's what we do. Reverend Rob.
Yay. So I invite you to join me in our opening prayer treatment. We know that back behind everything there is a divine essence, a divine presence. It is physical, emotional, mental, it's spiritual, it is just everything. And each of us is a little bit of that. And everything in our world is a little bit of that. So we all come from the same source. There is only one source. So we know that the center comes from that source, and the teaching, and our teachers. And we're so grateful for this service and for all the people, like Ron said, all the people that make this service happen. We're so grateful. And we know that everything this morning unfolds wonderfully and perfectly. The message, the music, the workshop, everything is just right on. It's just what we need to hear. So from this place of gratitude and appreciation, we release this word to the law. The law says yes, and we accept this and we embody this when we say, and so it is.
Please stand for our congregational song.
Shining as right. All right, all right. Hello, Cosmic Kids of all ages. This is Cindy Joy, your captain speaking, and Travi, woohoo! Our special honorary Cosmic Kid.
Under the kids.
I'm so glad you're here because we're going to be looking for a spiritual gold today. Now, we all know what gold is. And yeah, we're going to be looking for some gold. Yay! But spiritual gold is a little bit different. It's our 4 B's. Be positive, be joyful, be happy, and be loving. Those are our 4 B's. So which are you going to be today? Which one are you going to be today, Travi?
The black gold.
The black gold? Are you going to be joyful, loving, positive, or helpful today? Or all of them?
All of them.
Awesome. Yeah. That's what I thought. Let's go. Woo!
I'm so we're past that. But I am, so it's good. So I will read our affirmation, and then we'll all say it together. I am peace and love when I stay in the presence of the One. Together. I am peace and love when I stay in the presence of the One. So I have a surprise reading today. It's, instead of what I usually do, this one is from the Science of Mind textbook by Ernest Holmes. Some of you are laughing because this is my most often quoted book, because it's just full of really good stuff. Undoubtedly, we are surrounded by and immersed in a perfect life, a complete, normal, happy, sane, harmonious, peaceful existence. But only as much of this life as we embody will really become ours to use. And as much as this life, as we understand and embody, will react as immutable law, the reaction of the mechanical to the spiritual. The concept is wonderful and fraught with tremendous significance. It is bound up on our hopes and our fears, our expectations and our future and our present realizations. Since an understanding of the law must first pass through our conscious mind before we can make use of it, it follows that with all of our getting, we should get understanding. Should we wish to know a certain truth, we should state that this truth is already known in mind, and that this statement is true, and the overmind must be accepted into our own mind before we can understand it. How then are we accomplishing the desired result? By stating the feeling. We're always talking about mind and thought and all that, but this is the power behind the treatment, is by stating and feeling that our mind knows the truth. That's the embodiment, the feeling. That our mind knows the truth about the thing we desire to know. In this way, we draw the infinite mind into our own mentalities for the definite knowledge of some particular good.
Thank you, Rob. All right, it's been a long, way too long time since this man has been in our house. Dennis Bryan.
So happy to be here. Wow, it's been quite a while. Stay in the place of love. Stay in the place of light. Stay in the place of gratitude. You and I will always be so thankful together. Stay in the place of consciousness, being there to hear the precious message, the truth there. Stay in the place of beautiful, inside out and through and all around you. As you, oh, everything we breathe is love inspired. Everything we are and all that we have, if we stay in the place of love. Stay in the place of light. Stay in the place of wonderful, laughing out loud from all that makes us happy. Freely stay in the place of joyfulness, dancing round like there is no tomorrow. Love grows, everything we breathe is love inspired. And everything we are, all that we have, if we stay in the place of love. Stay in the place of light. Stay in the place of joy. Stay in the place of peace. Just stay.
Dennis. Beautiful song. Thank you.
So right now we're going to stay in that place of love. And we're going to do it quietly for 3 minutes. So this is our gap meditation, the God awareness place. And we know that God is love. So we'll just stay in this place for 3 minutes. And then when we're done, Cherie will play us out. So this is just one kind of meditation, this being still. There's also walking meditations, and Dr. Jim used to talk about the washing dishes meditation. So anything you do can be a meditation if you're conscious of it, if you're aware and intentional. And if you like being quiet or contemplative in a group, we have more opportunities to do that here on Monday evenings, Thursday evenings, and then on Sundays before service. Namaste.
Thank you. All right, Dennis, come on. We got another one from Mr. Bryan. Cheryl, you coming up? You're gonna say, okay.
I'm going to talk a little bit.
Okay. Are we going to start?
Because in rehearsal, we started the song, and then I tried to talk, and I'm just not very good at that. So I'll get confused. And
Talking and playing? You
and
mean
I-
like
yeah,
chewing
I
gum
can't
and
do
walking?
that.
Yeah.
I just can't. I'm not good at that. But I did want to tell you that I wrote this song coming out of COVID. Everybody, all my other songwriter friends are all writing these songs, and I thought, well, what am I going to say about that? And then it also segued into kind of a different political climate. So, and I didn't want to sway one way or the other. I wanted to remain neutral. And so I focused on no matter what happens, we can make it. Mm-hmm. And it made me think when we did the prayer circle and that we prayed and I just thought, and I told Cherie, I want to come back and see my tribe and be part of my tribe.
Yeah.
You guys are my tribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like it here. So yeah, this song's called We Can Make It. And I also want to make sure we have a little more drums in the monitor, if you don't mind. It was not as loud as it was in rehearsal, so
Okay.
I need that beat. Okay,
Randy, bring it.
let's do it.
He's making the adjustment just for you.
It's a song about faith and hope. When the whole damn nation's falling down, and there's one who thinks he wears a crown, we can make it. We can still make it. When it feels like people taking sides, we lost the point to stand united. We can make it. We can still make it. So carry on with all the power inside, and we can make it. When the headlines got you in a state and the balance leans so close to hate, we can make it. We can still make it. When you're tired of isolation and you miss that soul connection, we can make it. We can still make it. So carry on with all the thoughts inside. We can make it. We can make it. Woo! We can make it. Oh, we can still make it. We can make it. People say you have no choice, but what you have is your own voice. We can make it. We can still make it. That's right, I like that. So carry on with all the power inside, and carry on with all the thoughts inside, carry on with all the love inside. We can make it. Sing it with me. We can still make it. We can make it. We can still make it. we can make it.
Good job, guys.
I'm gonna make it. Gonna make it up here.
Who said I was fun? So I'm so fun that I'm a walking billboard today for the Walk for Peace, which I would like to ask right away, how many of you know what this shirt is about? Oh, not a lot of people, right? Not everybody. So that's wonderful, because I'm going to talk about it, and then you're going to know about it, and then you're going to want to go, and we'll even have a little clip about it. So, and it inspired, this Walk for Peace by these monks that I'm going to tell you about, inspired this talk and even a class I'm now taking on mindfulness presence. So it really, really impacted my life. Not that everything doesn't, everything does, right? But it would just came back at the right time for me to, because of what's happening out there sometimes that gets all of our attention. And I needed something to bring me back to not looking at what's out there and to look within. So on October 20th, 2025, a small group of Buddhist monks quietly stepped out of their meditation center in Fort Worth, Texas, which I was there at the very time they were stepping out, which is, to me is kind of strange, right? My brother lives in Fort Worth, Texas, and I was there on my birthday on October 23rd and still there on the 26th. Their intention was simple. They were going to walk from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. They called it the Walk for Peace. They had their flag, and I'll tell you in a moment about their dog. There was only 19 of them in the beginning, led by the venerable monk, I'm not sure if I say his name right, Bhikkhu Panakara. They're from Vietnam, most of them. They've lived in this country, Panakara has, since he was like 17 years old, had become an engineer and went to the University of Texas in Arlington, and then decided, after getting his engineering degree and working for Motorola, he was going to become an impoverished, because they take nothing with them, monk. So it's an amazing story. They wore their saffron robes, and they carried nothing with them but their alms bowl so that they could eat. Their goal was not protest, was not publicized. Their goal was simply to walk mindfully for peace. For the next 108 days, a sacred number I found out in Buddhism, which means spiritual completeness, they walked nearly 2,300 miles. Step by step, breath by breath, they walked roughly 20 miles per day, beginning each morning very early, often in silence, in a moving meditation. Now, I have a little digress here. 20 years ago this month, I walked the LA Marathon. I did not know what I was getting into. I thought, I had this woman that had been to Mount Everest that said, we can just walk the LA Marathon. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. Mile 13, my feet were almost bleeding. They really weren't, but they were at mile 26. Anyway, but my sister was treating for leukemia and cancer at the time. And when I got to mile 20, she called me and said, what are you doing? And I said, if you can go through what you're going through, and she later died that summer, I will walk 6.2 more miles. And I did. And I would never do it again. But what got me about that was that these monks were doing that every day for 108 days. I mean, it was miraculous to me. I think it was a miracle. I think Spirit was walking them. had to be walking them. They crossed out of Texas, heading east through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, and eventually made it to Washington, D.C. At first, no one noticed them. I mean, they simply just walked out of their ashram. But something interesting began to happen when they got into Louisiana and Mississippi. People began to hear about them. Curious residents out in these backwoods little towns would come out and just stand along the side of the road and just watch them walk by. I mean, they walk fast, because if you're walking 20 miles a day and you need to eat and do everything they needed to do, they walked fast. And I know how many of you are dog lovers here. They had this beautiful dog with them named Aloka, who was then nicknamed the Peace Dog. And you see on my shirt, he has a little peace sign on him. And Aloka became as famous as the monks during the walk. They had done a similar walk in India in 2022, I found out. And Aloka was a stray dog on the streets of India, so you can imagine. And he started walking with the monks, and he has never left their sides. So you know this is a spiritual dog. Aloka, that name they gave him, means divine light. So he became a beloved symbol of this journey. And he's in so many videos. After this talk, you'll probably want to go see. Aloka even had leg surgery during the walk and had to be, in recovery for a month. But at the end of the walk, he was back walking with them. By the time they reached Georgia, hundreds of people were gathering. Some stood quietly, some brought flowers, some simply walked beside them for a few steps, and some for miles. The monks had become a living symbol of something people everywhere are longing for, that peace of mind they were walking with. Their journey eventually spread across social media and on YouTube, but the journey was not easy. They started out in extremely hot weather, even in, Texas, even in October can be really hot. But I've heard this monk talk, and he said, but we were used to hot because we're from East Asia, right? Vietnam. Hot is good for us. But then they got into I can't believe they decided to walk into January and February on the East Coast. They walked through horrific weather. If you want to watch, you'll see. Snowstorms they were walking. They did not stop. It didn't matter what the weather was. Snowstorms, rain, freezing weather for almost all of January and February. And at one point, in the early days of the walk, there was a terrible accident in which an escort vehicle of theirs was struck by a truck, and two of the monks were seriously injured. One actually lost his leg. And that group did not stop. That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to step each minute in meditation for peace. That was their reason for being at that moment. Finally, after 108 days, they reached Washington, D.C. on February 10th, a month ago, 2026. I was in Hawaii. I was looking at my phone. Did they make it? I'd been watching since early December. Thousands gathered to welcome them. Thousands. I mean, at one point they had 10,000 gathered to watch them cross the chain bridge over the Potomac River into the Capitol. Their arrival included a peace gathering near the Lincoln Memorial and an interfaith ceremony at the Washington National Cathedral, where monks, more than 100 of them, showed up, and spiritual leaders from many, many religious traditions showed up. It was an amazing thing to watch. And what the monk emphasized every night, he actually, after walking 20 miles, he had a talk at night that was, recorded and people watched. But peace does not begin, this is what he said, peace does not begin in governments. Peace begins in the human mind. Their walk was not meant as a protest. Instead, it was meant to demonstrate that mindfulness itself is a path to social healing. In each of his talks, he had one simple request of everyone. He would ask them to, in the morning, get up and say, "Today will be my peaceful day," and write it down and read it and say it again. "Today will be my peaceful day." So right now, can we say together, "Today will be my peaceful day"? And now, Darlene will play a little brief clip of the walking monks. Please hold. Well, you can just look at my shirt until you see the. I'll be the walking monk. Oh, step aside.
Monks marching for peace, draped in saffron and maroon robes and carrying little more than bags on their shoulders, they were greeted like rock stars upon their arrival in Washington, D.C. The final leg in their 3,700-kilometer-long journey from Fort Worth, Texas. Dawn Torres flew in from the other side of the country, Washington State, to be here with her friend Sue. After weeks of following the monks' journey on social media, they were intent on being here in person.
Just so hungry, like I think everybody else is, to have peace when we're seeing so much hate and so much anger.
And I said to Dawn when I invited her, I said, let's go be part of history. And I think that's what this is.
Yeah.
They were just two of the thousands that gathered outside Washington National Cathedral to catch a glimpse of the monks and to hear their simple message. Block out the noise to let in mindfulness, kindness, and peace.
Peace is something that we are seeking for so many years, and yet we still not find it. You have locked it and put them in the box. We are not walking from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. to bring you any peace, but to raise the awareness of peace so that you can unlock that box and free it.
It's a message resonating with weary Americans who feel the nation is more divided than ever before.
Basically, it's the authenticity that people are looking for. And they want to see unity. They also want to find not only peace in society, but peace within themselves.
The type of war right now that's very dangerous because, they worse than all that chemical or that bombing or hand grenade, because it slowly destroy our mental and the feeling, because they eat up our thinking and energy and disappointed. We need a hope. So this is the hope for our future.
The trek hasn't been easy. The monks have faced frigid temperatures and unusually heavy snow. And one of their members eventually had to have his leg amputated after a car crashed into their caravan. But step by step, they've brought hope and a message of calm perseverance with their trusty four-legged companion Aloka by their side.
Today marks the 108th day of the monks' journey. That number, 108, very symbolic in Buddhism. It represents the earthly desires and passions and delusions that prohibit people from reaching nirvana. Very intentional that the monks arrived here in the nation's capital with their message of peace on day 108. For CNA, I'm Tony Waterman in Washington, D.C.
Communities and even no-faith communities throughout our city.
Amazing, right? I mean, if you have, they're all over. They have a Walk for Peace Facebook website, and he's still speaking every day. And like I said, they did this in India. We didn't hear about it in 2022. They walked, I think, even longer. I think 122 days. So what I want to talk about after we've talked about the monks is this idea of mindfulness. And I thought, Rob talked about it this morning, and I think this song talked about it. It's like there's no accidents, right? What is mindfulness? It is the gentle awareness that notices the breath, notices the body, notices the flow of thoughts without judgment. There's a great Buddhist teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, that said this: the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. I have to I'll have to be a Stephen, one little digress here, or whatever he said, tangent. Yeah, really. The monks did not, to walk 20 miles a day, they could not stop, right? I mean, they stopped briefly to eat, to drink, but they could not stop with all these hundreds or thousands of people coming out and holding flowers and bowing, but they stopped at every small child that had a flower, and they stopped at everyone that was in a wheelchair or had some kind of disability. And they bowed to them, and they got down on their knees, and they gave them flowers, and they tied peace bracelets around there. So it was just so amazing to see that to me, because they were in the moment, and that's what they needed to stop for. The peace and the presence within them, that's what they needed to do. So mindfulness is not complicated. It's simply remembering to come home to this moment, right here. But that simple act can transform our entire experience of life, because most of us don't live right here. We live in our minds in the past, and we live in our minds in the future. But mindfulness brings us right back to life as it's actually happening right here, right now. I look out and I see you, and I'm here, and I'm not thinking about what's the next word I'm going to say, but I'm going to look down. Ernest Holmes, said that life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks into it. But before we can change our thinking, we must first become aware of it. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts rather than being carried away by them. Instead of reacting automatically to fear, anger, anxiety, we pause. And in that pause, something extraordinary and amazing can happen. There's choice. There's the train. There's freedom, spiritual awareness, a peace that's a spiritual power. Peace is misunderstood as something, passive, maybe even weak. But peace is strength. Peace is clarity. Peace is creative power. It's the one presence flowing through us as peace. Emmett Fox, another metaphysical minister in our teaching, said, "Peace of mind is the greatest power on earth." A peaceful mind can see clearly, can love freely, and can transform a room. Just as those monks transformed those towns and those cities simply by walking through them. They did not argue. They did not try to persuade. They simply walked in peace. And people felt it. Tens of thousands of people felt it. I mean, people were flying from all over the world, not just from Washington State. There was people from all over the world that flew in for them when they got to Washington, D.C. So mindfulness is not limited to the monks, though. Or we don't have to walk across the country. It's something we can practice every day. While walking, while cooking, while driving, while listening to a friend, while sitting quietly in prayer. We pause, we breathe, we notice. And if you think that's interesting, maybe you'd like to come to the workshop. Because I thought, Reverend Rob's going to give it all away. We're going to do some meditative walking, like those monks. No, but we are going to do some mindful eating. That got your attention? And it's dark chocolate, so you might want to come. And gradually, we begin to realize something beautiful, that the presence of Spirit is always right with us. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Mindfulness is how we enter the kingdom. Not someday, but right now. So right here where we are, let us take a moment together and just take a gentle breath with me. Feel your body relax. Notice the stillness that exists underneath all the activity of the mind. In that stillness, something becomes clear. The presence of life is here. The presence of peace is here. The presence of God is here. Not somewhere else, right here. So those monks walked 2,300 miles across America carrying one message. Peace begins within. Step by step, breath by breath, moment by moment. And the same journey is available to each one of us every day, in every moment. Because mindfulness is more than a meditative technique. It is a doorway into presence, a doorway into peace, and a doorway into living the awareness of Spirit. And when we walk through that doorway ourselves, we become part of healing the world. Step by mindful step. And so it is.
Yay, Nancy, that was powerful. Thank you.
Oh, I stay up here. I forgot. So now we say the affirmation that I wrote to go along with this talk. Let's say it together. I am peace and love when I stay in the presence of the One. And now it's time for our revealing prayer. So I take that deep inhalation that brings me calm, that brings me into this mindful moment of the one life, the one essence, the one infinite wisdom, intelligence, and love. And I step gently upon this earth, knowing that as I come into the presence of God, Goddess, Mother, Father, all that is, I am right here, right now. And in this moment, I am healed. I am whole. I reveal the truth that life is always for me and never against me. I look inside for my happiness. I look inside for the beauty that is all around me. It is the eyes of love that I look through. I step with the monks, knowing that peace is always available to me each and every moment, that I remember, that I come back into the present, come back into this holy, holy now moment where everything happens. I let go of the past. I let go of the future, for the now is all we ever have. I'm so grateful. Grateful for this time to be in prayer, be in community, be in love with everyone here. For we are blessed. We live in thanksgiving, we live in gratitude. And we, at this moment, Reverend Stephen has come to mind, so I am knowing his divine wholeness, his divine health, his divine voice is so powerful. And we welcome him in this now moment. So knowing all of that was so, for Spirit spoke it, I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am divinity defined. I am God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 I am light.
Thank you for leaving it on. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm feeling very, very peaceful. That was beautiful, Reverend Nancy. Thank you so much for that. So there are so many ways to support our center. You heard about all the volunteerism that Ron does and so many people do here. There are other ways you can give, financially. So you can go onto the website. You can text the word give to that number on the screen there. You can go to Zelle. You can go find Darlene, wherever you are, Darlene. And I think we have another, Dorothy, you want to go to the next slide? So we've been talking about all the you can see all the renovations, right? We're moving along, and we're going to have an official fundraiser. Excuse me. So you can see here our symbol. We need to raise $120,000 to finish the work that you can see, this construction work for the flooring and for some new furniture we need for the offices. So you may remember that we renegotiated the lease for our space, which saved us $1,700 a month. And then the owner, the landlord, gave us back through rent abatement. It adds up to $35,000 that we don't have to pay this year. We had January, February, March without having to pay rent, and then we will have July, August, September. So that comes to $35,000, quite a lot of money. And then in additional fundraising, and thank you so much to those of you who have given so far. So we're at $50,000. So we're actually a really great chunk of the way there. We're going to be having a silent auction. I think we already started with Kathy and her husband so generously donated 2 tickets to a Kings game that I think it's the end of March, right? March 21st. Oh, next Saturday. So is today the closing day? Okay, if you're a hockey lover, and it's going to be really hot, so you can cool off in the. There's the silent auction. Today is the last day. If you're interested, please go. The sign up is in the lobby. So very excited about that. And there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be presenting to you. Some really people have been so generous, donating their time and their energy and their effort. So stay tuned, and some really good stuff coming up for that. A lot more silent auctions. Yeah, more silent auctions and other stuff too. Not just silent auctions. We're going to do other fun stuff. And we said last night the Fam Danley concert. Thank you so much again to all those of you who donated. That went to the building fund as well. So if you will join me in our affirmation of abundance. Divine love is doing its perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for the world, Center for Spiritual Living Simi Valley, and me now. Divine love prevails. I'm going to do this.
Under the slide.
We are so grateful for the crystallization of energy that is represented here by the money in the baskets, by everybody's conscious thoughts, and by all the talents that we volunteer. We're so grateful, and so it is.
So it is. Wonderful. We've got one more song from Dennis. And if you're wondering who this beautiful lady here is with him, that's Leslie Jensen. Yeah.
You guys remember
Leslie. And we have Cheryl and Lane, and we're all singing on this fun song, a classic Dennis Bryan song.
And one of your favorites.
My favorite. I picked it.
How long will it take before you give yourself a break? How long will you keep on judging your mistakes by how fast you make them? Don't Thank you, and thank you for having me, you guys. So great to be back.
Yeah. Dennis.
Wow, what a service, huh? This is just, thank you so much, Brian. Oh my gosh, that was just amazing. There's so many, so many thank yous. Please hold your applause for the end because we have so many people we have to thank. So for the service team today, Greg and Pat Schaefer, and I know they're here, where'd they go? There you are. Signs, John McCloskey, who is out getting the signs, I think.
Of course.
Soundstage, Glenn Buckley.
Yeah.
Live stream video, Greg Seymour, and Colin is here today. Colin Morgan. Slide operator, Dorothy Seeger Morgan. Cosmic Kids, Cindy Joy and Sonia Blake is with her today. In the office, Greg Schaefer. Fellowship, John McCloskey, Krista Dexter, and then sometimes people bring things that we don't know about, so thank you. If you brought something. Michelle, thank you, Michelle, so much. See, musical guest, Dennis Bryan. We're going to give a special thanks to him. Our Soul Purpose Band, Steve Fowler, Bob Townley, Randy Jones, and then Leslie Jensen. Where'd Leslie go? There's Leslie. Leslie came here today. Lane Taylor and our leader, Cherie Taylor. Good heavens. Cherie Deeds.
I like my new name.
The words are getting mixed up. Oh, yeah. Cleaning this week, and it's a big job, and especially now with the construction. And so big thanks to Kathy Burt, Reverend Nancy Fuller, Gloria Binder, and Regina Rose. Thank you so much for taking care of making... And then we can do the big one at the end. Fam Damley last night, because we had volunteers for that too. The bake sale volunteers. So we're having a bake sale, and in addition to the bake sale, we're having an extra special part of the bake sale. So for St. Patrick's Day, we have a St. Patrick's Day cheesecake that there's a silent auction. Get out there and put your name down and bid up that cheesecake. And last, but absolutely not least, thank you for the practitioner of the day, Reverend Rob Thompson. Come on up.
Now we can do the applause.
Yes, and now yes.
That was all for me, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I will be available over by that exit sign over there for anyone who wants a 1-minute miracle. And we have a new practitioner room that looks like freshly painted, pretty and nice. And so we can have a 1-minute miracle over there. But if you want to go and bid on the cheesecake, or if the chocolate Irish whiskey balls, if there's any of those left you want to buy, maybe I should have made more. You can go write your prayer request on the little slip of paper, put it in the box, and then the team will pray for you during the week.
Thank you, Reverend Rob. If you will, thank you. So we have 2 open board seats on the Board of Trustees. So I think I forgot in the beginning, like I do like half the time. My name is Cheryl Robinson Collins, and I'm the current president of the Board of Trustees. And please join us. If you are interested, we have a committee. So please go and see Darlene. There's just a form to fill out, and we would love to have you. Please join us. Oops, I guess I was supposed to say that before. Oh, well. Oh, one other thing. Sorry, I forgot to say. On Easter Sunday, Reverend Dr. Jim Lockhart is going to be here. And for those of you who didn't know, he was the pastor before Reverend Stephen came. So about 10.5 years ago, Reverend Stephen got here. So before that, it was Jim Lockhart. And apparently, he had a tradition on Easter of asking people to create an Easter bonnet. And so we kind of thought it might be nice. If you don't have an Easter bonnet, a colorful hat or any hat, as my uncle would say, chapeau, wear it and have some fun. And that's the first Sunday in April. I'm so sorry. I guess I should look up at the slides more. The drum circle is coming Friday. Sorry. I was looking down. Darlene is so nice. She makes you a list, and I was like reading my list. The drum circles this Friday. If you haven't been, it's really powerful and really wonderful. And so that's this Friday in the classroom, or here at the lobby for now. Classroom's almost done though, guys. So that's really good. From 7 to 8:30. And so come join for that. We already talked about the board. Rob, we already did you. Thank you so much. Anything else? Oh, I did. Okay. Pardon me? Yeah. That's coming. We have to do the benediction first. Yeah. I didn't forget that, I promise. Okay, so if you could go to the next slide, if you could please stand and join me in the benediction. We need another slide, though. There we go. Woohoo! Okay, everybody, please join me. I am at home in the heart of God. My life is anchored in truth. I can never be separate. I live in the consciousness of peace. I release all fear. I am living love.